Well, this is Larry, W6WUH in California. This is my SB-200 linear amplifier. And guess I got this and went through it in 2010, 13 years ago. Been on the air ever since. And in 2018, I put in the Harbach soft start board and the power supply board, which of course made absolutely no difference to how the amplifier performed at all. But let's see, this is November of 2023. So it's been in service for 13 years. Been cleaned a couple of times during that time. I try to keep a cloth over it often to keep dirt out of it, but it's time to clean it again. I had some kind of problem that put it off the air. There was arcing heard, and the filament blew in one of my Citron tubes. But while I'm in here, I'm doing a little bit of cleaning. I looked at my band switch and I see that they're getting discolored, so I'm just going to show you what I'm doing there. So this is the driver band switch here, and you can see the top of the wafer I've cleaned, and the other half of the wafer here I haven't cleaned. You can see that there's a clear silver streak there where all the wipers work on it, so it's actually working just fine, but it doesn't look real wonderful. So what I'm doing to get this tarnishing off of this band switch, this is a typewriter eraser pencil. It's a pencil with a somewhat abrasive rubber core, and this is good old deoxit D5. So what I did is sprayed the deoxit on here, and I've just been basically scrubbing it or wiping it with this eraser pencil to get the corrosion or the tarnishing off. So down here you can look at this bottom section here and see what it looks like now. I don't have this tripod set up, but I'll spray this with deoxit. I'll go at it with the eraser pencil, spray it with deoxit again, and I'll actually take a paper towel and wipe some of the crud off of there with that and do it again. I'm going to see if I can hold the camera with one hand and show you my doing this with the other. Nothing mysterious about it. It's wet with deoxit, which helps, and I'm just going over it like this, and you can see that that's getting rid of the tarnishing. Of course, you have to keep turning the switch to do this, but I'll just show one little section, wipe it off, and you can see the difference. Get my hand over here and turn the switch. You can see the difference. So it's just housekeeping, but it's a good thing to do. And of course, with an unknown amplifier or dirty amplifier, you want to do this as a basic maintenance, and then you probably won't have to do this once every 15 years or something. But it's as long as I'm in here looking for problems, I'm going to just do all the little house cleaning and preventive maintenance that I can, and it's a good way to inspect everything. If you work on it, clean it, you're going to be looking at it very closely. I use these are prescription magnifying glasses, and they magnify quite a bit, and it really helps with close-up work. I've been using these for 30 years. Yeah, you know, when I was in my 30s, I started using them. It really helps. Okay, so now you can just see that this just looks a lot nicer. You want to make sure that you go through with your paper towel and a little flush of the deoxit, and make sure there's no residue from the rubber eraser pencil. You want it all nice and clean, and when you leave it behind, you want a little coating of that deoxit on there, because that keeps it from tarnishing, and it lubricates it a little, makes everything nice. So there you go. You can see the difference. A lot of it's just cosmetic, but right along here, there's a little tiny line, which is the path where the wiper actually contacts the common wafer here, and that's where it's really making contact. It's not making contact on the rest, but you know, it's you can't just clean that tiny little line, so you clean the whole thing. Anyway, well, I just took out a tube, but in here we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go through with a damp rag paper towel, because you can see there's a little bit of dust that's built up in here. Not very much, but a little bit. Just clean that up, and we'll get in here and we'll do the same thing with these wafers and contacts on the band switch for the tank circuit. We just did it for the driver. Now we'll do it for the tank circuit, and we'll put a little deoxit on the wipers for these tuning caps, just so that they are clean and lubricated. And then we're going to be starting to do some troubleshooting in here. Well, we're trying to look at the contacts on this band switch. It's pretty hard to get in here. I don't see in here, let alone photograph. I don't see anything burned. Like the other one, it's a little tarnished and discolored, but I don't see any evidence of any arcing, any burning on that band switch. And back here on this section, we'll take a look at it if we can get it in focus. Come on, you sucker. Again, I don't see any evidence of anything burned there, so we'll just clean those like we did the other ones. Just basic maintenance. So I literally sharpen these eraser pencils in this pencil sharpener. This is a German Draftsman's pencil sharpener. It's very good. Whoopsie. It allows you to adjust the point, anything from really stubby to very sharp or something in between. If they get too thin, they're not very strong, and it's good for getting in little places, but when you need to put a little more oomph on it, a stiffer, stubbier point is good. Basically hardly ever use that. But that's what you do. Just take your pencil sharpener and sharpen up the eraser pencils. You have to look around to find these secondhand stores. Maybe they still can find them in a stationery store, if you can even find one of those anymore. Garage sale, wherever you can find it. When you find them, get them. There's all different kinds. Some are very abrasive. They were really made for the old carbon ribbon typewriter days. Most of these are much softer than that, but they're very useful. Here I've paid particular attention to the cleanliness of the ceramic part of this switch, and I've taken some of this cleaner and sprayed it on there because there was flux and dirt and crud on there that I wanted to get off, and then I had to re-lubricate it with the deoxit. But we've got all of these contacts nice and clean. Sometimes if you can't rub the contact with the eraser pencil, you hold the eraser pencil against it and run the contact back and forth past it, and that's what I had to do to get these clean. But it works. So I developed that technique really working on multi-band antique receivers from the 30s like Zeniths and RCAs and Packard Bells and stuff. And when I started working on 50s transmitters with band switches, it was the same deal. We used the same technique. And any multi-band radio, you know, with a band switch, you got to apply this technique to get it clean and make it work right. There's no point in recapping and retubing if you don't clean all the band switches. It's you know, I clean everything with soap and water and get it clean. Then I go through with deoxit and the eraser pencils and clean all the band switches and all the contacts. Go through it and clean those again, make sure there's no debris left in it, and then I do my overhaul. So same thing with amplifiers, transmitters, doesn't matter.